Welcome back to Next Level Season 1, Episode 3. Today we're going to talk all about mistakes. Mistakes, that terrible word called mistakes. The thing that we say, well, everyone makes mistakes. No. We are getting away from that today. I absolutely hate that word. I hate the idea of, everyone makes mistakes. Because yes, everyone makes mistakes, but when we use the word mistake, that is where we get it wrong. That is where we actually start to show people that, mistakes are okay. No, it's not about the mistake. It's about the mindset of the mistake. And what that means is we're going to stop using the idea of mistakes. Think about in your everyday life, your company, the team you're on, the people you supervise. How many times do you use the word mistake? How about with your family, your spouse, your children, your friends? How many times do you use the word mistake in a day or a week? A ton of times. That's because we have made it okay to use that. And okay, they have that big saying of, everyone makes mistakes. Okay. But instead of talking like that, think about it with a kid, right? Instead of saying, that was a mistake. What if we looked at it and said, hey, what'd you learn from that? And we create the opportunity that there is no such thing as mistakes. There is no such thing as failures. If you look at any of the research, any of the things people write about, they say that the most successful people in the world are the ones who fail the most. But what they do is they continually get up and they learn something from each and every opportunity. That's what success is. It's to take the mistakes and not look at them as a mistake. That's a reason. That's an excuse. No. They said, what did I learn from this experience? And that's the power of it. So when you look at the term mistake, okay, it is really just, it's by definition, it's an action or judgment that is misguided or wrong. Okay, that's what we look at. So in essence, a mistake, is it always have to be something misguided or something wrong? Or could it just have been something that didn't go right and it was an opportunity to learn how to do something different in the future? That is why you'll see tons of entrepreneurs have already failed at one business. That's because they learned so much from that and they kept going and they learned from, they didn't say, that was a mistake, I'm going back to something else. No, they said, you know what can I take away from this? And that is the power of it. So you hear all the time about positive psychology. Right now, schools are going to a bunch of what's called growth mindset. The idea is no longer are you telling kids or you telling people that they made a mistake. You're saying, what can you learn from that? What is the opportunity to grow? And if every single time you hit a challenge in your teams and in your companies and with your peers, and you said, what can we learn from this? How can we grow from this? How much more powerful could that be? How much could it be to wipe away the idea of, we made a mistake? No more mistakes. It's what can we learn from this? Think about it with your family. Think about your kids. Every time that they make a mistake, from now on you say, hey, what'd you learn from that? How can you grow? That's a huge shift. That's a change that we can make. And what it does is it absolutely shifts the mind. So mistakes are a part of reasons, excuses. They come from a terrible part of our brain called the amygdala, the primitive brain. It's all about survival and defensiveness. And that's why we justify mistakes. That's why society over the last 100 years has justified mistakes. But not anymore, because we're learning that, hey, to be productive, to make successful decisions, to change the way that we think, we have to flip over and we got to be in our prefrontal cortex in the front of our brain, which is where all of our decision making comes from, which is all our creativity, our brilliance, our ideas, all of it comes from there. And that's our problem solving. And so when we make a change, when we actually say, no longer are we going to use mistakes in that amygdala, and we're going to move to our prefrontal cortex and we're going to start thinking about, hey, what can you learn from this? That is where we make huge shifts. Think about it. No more are we going to use ideas of mistakes. That is excuses and reasons. We're going to look at every opportunity and say, what can we learn from this? How can we grow? And how can we be different in the future? I don't want to hear mistakes. I want to hear what were your learnings from this and how do you grow? Thank you again for being on here. Look forward to talking with you all next week. Thanks. Subscribe below to Next Level. Stay up to date on the seasons, and we're going to get you new stuff. We're going to take your life to that next level. Start maximizing your potential. Subscribe below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'd love to see your comments. Let me know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. We'll get to it. Subscribe below. Next Level.